One of my first videos on this channel was a blind review of Super Mario Sunshine. I was about as charitable as I could be, given it was my first ever playthrough of one of the most polarizing Mario games of all time. I truly left thinking I would never play Sunshine again. 3 years later though, I'm back, and better than ever. Why did nobody tell me this game was actually a lot of fun the second time around after you understand Mario's movement better? It's still janky in a lot of areas, but I found my 120 shine run to be rather thrilling. I'm Billy S, and today I'll be ranking all the courses of Super Mario Sunshine, and in a few weeks I'll be ranking all 120 shine sprites. So stay tuned as we start with our last place. At number 9, we have Corona Mountain, the final course of the game. Immediately, you can make the case that Corona Mountain simply doesn't have the longevity of other courses due to a lack of shine sprites. It's a Bowser stage, where your only goals are to reach the Bowser fight and defeat him, as well as collecting 10 blue coins above the lava. Those blue coins are a nightmare, by the way. I got them all on my first attempt, don't get me wrong, but trying to navigate that ship through the rocks was not a fun time. It feels like the developers didn't test how the various strengths of Flood's water streams would actually affect the boat, leading to an extremely slow and precise journey over the lava. If you're willing to take the time and show patience, the blue coins aren't difficult. Even then though, I can't say Corona Mountain lives up to the rest of the final Bowser levels across the series. It feels too short, with every obstacle causing instant death for the briefest of mess-ups. Those spike platforms are brutal if you mistime them, as are the fire platforms if you drop before you fully douse them because you're trying to speedrun. I do appreciate the various one-ups throughout the stage though, they knew they were asking a lot of the player. The rocket nozzle sequence is more of a formality, and the final Bowser fight is oddly charming for how out of place it is. A giant floating bathtub? And Bowser's here for the sole purpose of the game needing its main antagonist. I wish Junior was the focus instead, but he's relegated to firing bullet bills while his dad breathes fire. You can tank all of the hits, and with some powerful rocket nozzle ground pounds across the 5 weak points, the game is complete and Peach is saved. The one saving grace of Corona Mountain though, it is the most fiery any fire stage has looked in a Mario game. The heat radiating off of the screen is likely why we're in a current heatwave in Europe. At number 8, we have Sirena Beach, the 5th course of the game, which feels like it's trying to be too many things at once. You've got the outdoor area where the Manta Ray and the Scrubbing Sirena Beach shines take place, both of which are pretty iconic for Mario Sunshine. I really love these missions, as one forces you to take care of an infamously tough boss fight in whatever method works for you, while the other sees you actually using Flood for its intended in-universe purpose, cleaning up all this gunk. When you discover the shotgun spray, you will never want to go back. The rest of the shines take place in the hotel though, a 3-floor affair where you'll have to work your way through various rooms, finding secret passages to either break into the pool or collect a series of red coins scattered throughout. Again, I love the concept here, and with the ghost theming it gives an almost Scooby-Doo vibe. I don't really care for the secret stage in the hotel lobby though, let's just say that red coin mission took me far too long to complete. Then we have the casino, the main reason for the low ranking. The first shine requiring you to get 777s on 2 different slot machines was cute, but that flip puzzle you then have to solve is so sensitive. I tried every different water pressure imaginable, from single drop sprays to full blasts, working from top to bottom. Nothing seemed to work for me for more than 2 seconds. And your reward is a hidden stage that, while completely fine, had me on edge, as I knew if I got a game over here I'd have to redo the casino again. Oh wait, the hidden red coin shine already forces you to do that very thing. I learned how to do the speedrun skip over the curtain purely so I wouldn't have to deal with that flip puzzle again, that's how much I disliked it. And while I do like King Boo's shine more than most, I can't deny that he feels so random and out of place. Not to mention, the fruit hitboxes were a little off in that fight, and since I'm judging all the stages, I'm also going to throw the blue coins here under the bus too. Blue coins in Sunshine are fine in concept, but without a proper tracker beyond the number on the map screen, it can be a guessing game as to where they are, or what episodes you need to visit to even have them spawn. Sirena Beach constantly had me switching between episodes to collect certain blue coins, and that became a bit of a pet peeve during my Sunshine run. This game is low-key better when you don't go for the full 120 and just skip the blue coin stars, but you already know that. You're watching this video, you've probably played Sunshine before. To summarize, Sirena Beach tries to do too much with 3 different locations. I think if they cut the casino, have another shine outside that doesn't involve using flood to clear goop, and maybe have some islands in the ocean, I think you've got a potential banger. At number 7, we have Gelato Beach, the 3rd course of the game. Do I just hate beaches? Look, I've never been the biggest fan of them IRL, but I also seem to be dragging that bias into Mario Sunshine, which is wild, because this has a few shines I consider to be proper mint-mate. Clearing the mirrors by bouncing off the cataquacks is such an entertaining challenge, what with each mirror having more enemies to bounce off, and the use of the tilting to create that loss of balance. The boss fight against Wiggler is one of the better 3D Mario bosses I've faced, with a unique premise of timing the sand buds to knock him over and get those ground pounds. And hell, I even like the sandbird. Yeah, I don't find it terribly frustrating. It only gets tough when it flips to the side, but that only happens once. I died more trying to grab the blue coins than I did from the platforming itself. But then we have some mid-shines. Il Piantissimo's races just don't have much in the way of sauce when his routes are always so simple. The red coins in the reef was cute, but the red coins that can swim away from you underneath the rocks are kind of irritating, and the hidden shine under the sand felt thematic yet a bit lazy. I was never a fan of the sandcastle shine, because making the first impression of your new level a 5-second walk to a bud that opens a hidden path to a secret stage is just not what I would personally do. And the Watermelon Festival, while again I don't dislike it as much as other players, I see your frustration. Especially given you need to use this episode to get the easiest 100 coin shine here, since you can keep popping the watermelons for more coins, which gets very tedious very quickly. That being said, did you know you can use the sand buds to kill the cataquacks? And you can lead the ones from the upper ledge down to the lower beach to kill them too, creating a clear path to the watermelon hut. It takes a lot of setup, which is a knock on the shine, but at least there is a foolproof way of making your watermelon life a lot easier. Then there's the blue coins, so many of them hidden throughout various episodes, some asking you to spray down the whole beach to find them, or to kill the cataquack of the odd colour, or to eat beehives. Yoshi and his mechanics are severely underutilized in Sunshine, and the beehive blue coins are just annoying to collect due to the insect swarm. I like Gelato Beach, but looking at the layout, there also just isn't much here. Platforming is minimal, and cataquacks are maximal. I want more of a balance in my Mario levels. At number 6, we have Pinna Park, the 4th course of the game, and the only course to actively progress the story, funnily enough. The first shrine is all about confronting Shadow Mario, then fighting the Bowser mech to reveal Junior's true identity. I'm not the biggest fan of this boss fight, but only because I found it tough to keep track of all the bullet bills coming from both ends. I also think it's a shame that Pinna Park has that loading zone before actually entering the amusement space. After coming from Super Mario 64, where the entirety of the levels were loaded into one space aside from sub-areas, it feels a bit reductive that Sunshine can't always manage that. I do like the Monty Mole cannon shine though, and how you use those bullet bills to break the crates with the blue coins, and the sunflower shine is cute, if a little forgettable. I just wish there was a way to actually incorporate those shines into the park part of Pinna Park. No, the most memorable shines come from the actual amusement park. I'm not the biggest fan of the red coin shine because I suck at platforming on the swinging pirate ships, but the rest of the grating here is fun to climb. Fixing the Ferris wheel and doing the tricky platforming course up the flip grates and knocking the red Electro Koopas down is awesome, even if my footage shows I sucked at the actual climb. I can see the potential here, don't worry guys, my skill does not reflect my love. The Yoshi go-round is great, especially with how the Yoshi fruits are hidden in different parts of the park, and even once Yoshi's unlocked, you need to make him the right color to access the hidden stage. And I'm just gonna say it, I actually enjoyed the balloon popping shine on the roller coaster. I beat it first try, and I didn't even feel it was terribly tough. You just need to make sure you're using every missile and trying to find those spots on the track where it's made for you to hit multiple targets at once. Was this shine hard? Or were you just 12 when you first played Mario Sunshine? You decide. My only downside is that despite Pinna Park being a great parkour paradise for Mario's moveset, it has one of my least favourite secret stages in the game. I don't like the Yoshi-themed one, I'm sorry. And I still think the outer beach area feels out of place in this course. At least the blue coins are honestly pretty tame, none feel egregious to collect, we take our wins where we can. At number 5, we have Pianta Village, the 7th course of the game. The ancestral home of the Piantas, I think it's absolutely insane that a Mario game is unintentionally touching upon tropical vacation discourse, because think about it. Is this the actual home of the Piantas and their culture, with the rest of the island just being a tourist trap created for money? Or do they actually live in Delfino Square, but they pretend that this rural Pianta village is their traditional home just so people will visit? Food for thought. Overall, I really like the shines in this course. The Goopy Inferno is the only time FLUDD is stripped from us outside of the secret stages, and the fact that you have multiple paths you can take to reach the mayor is genius. Go underside and clamber along the various grates, which is the intended route, or use the water from the river to slowly clear the goop instead. It's also one of the most blatant acts of violence in the game from Bowser Jr., a reminder that he is still a problem, which I really like. I love the Chain Chomplet Shrine where you have to... I like the Chain Chomplet Shine where you yeet the 3 babies into the main pond. Its central location really opens up how you can complete it. On the flip side, the big Chain Chomp feels a bit naff. You have to wait for the Chomper to reach the paths near the bath, hose him down, and then pull him to the pool. Because if you don't do it here, you won't ever have enough time before he regains strength and runs away. The Red Coin Festival, while I think some of the red coins are a tad evil, like the one on the underside of the town, or the one beneath the palm tree in the northwest, is ultimately a shine that has you exploring the whole level, which I respect. And you can even get the secret sunshine from the top of the tree. Just don't be like me and mess up the dandelion jump to the shine at the end, forcing you to start from the beginning. I also like cleaning the Piantas in 3 minutes. They aren't placed in outrageously tough locations, which feels like a slight missed opportunity, but the 8 adults you save all give you blue coins, and any excuse to make the blue coin collection less annoying in a level is good in my books. A shame then that this stage has the literal most obscure blue coin in the game. Who would have known to shoot the moon in the sky at this specific spot in Pianta Village? Is there a hint in the game to this? Please let me know, because this is the reason why the blue coin shines for Pianta Village are getting a bottom tier placement in my next Sunshine ranking. And finally, let's talk about the Yoshi in the room. I actually like Yoshi's inclusion here in the village. He's required to reach the secret stage via some simple parkour with a lot of 1-ups to collect. He can collect a few blue coins as well, so it's not like he's here for no reason. And hot take, the Chuckster room isn't actually that awful. Yes, it requires trial and error, but once you know which Chucksters to talk to, it's very comfortable on a replay. First-timers have every right to hate it, but I found it pretty fun on this second playthrough. While the secret red coin shine of the stage is made easier as you can hover over every single gap, with you only needing to talk to the Chuckster that launches you upwards. For me, Pianta Village has a certain source. There's more platforming here than you first think with the underside and the climbing of the trees. It has a few shines that make proper use of FLUDD, and even the duds are kind of iconic in their own way. At number 4, we have Bianco Hills, the first course of the game. I never grew up with the GameCube, it's an era I missed since my family had the PlayStation 2, so can someone explain why every time I enter Bianco Hills, I'm hit with this wave of nostalgia? The music just hits a chord I can't explain, and then the level with the green and white hues, the gorgeous water throughout, the way it allows you to naturally learn Mario's moveset with FLUDD, it speaks to me for some reason. Because Bianco Hills isn't exactly known for its insane shines, let's be real. However, I firmly believe as an opening level, it does exactly what it needs to do to suck you into the world of the game. That opening dive down the water slide, hopping onto the rope to bounce into town is perfection. The first 2 shines build off of each other as you first explore up to the bridge by the lake, and then you take the hover nozzle and clamber your way up the windmill to face PT Piranha in the second shine. We even get a boss battle that is way more functional than some of the SM64 bosses. We've come a long way since Wiggler and iRock. The two secret stages found atop the hillside and in the cave behind the lake are some of the most iconic in the game, with challenging platforming that really asks you to master Floodless Mario's moveset. But then returning to them with Flood to get the red coins feels fantastic as you realise, ah yes, I can fly over all these obstacles, let's go. And the red coin missions are fantastic. On the surface, they're both extremely simple, using the bouncy ropes to gain a lot of height, especially when you're doing the red coin lake shine and rocket nozzling upwards. But once you know your route, you can finish them super quick and feel satisfied in your speed, especially with the town red coins, which I've seen collected in speedruns, and every time I think, that is some of the smoothest movement I've ever seen. I love the natural routing of those red coins, and even though I haven't come close to replicating what I've seen from pro players, I think the red coins here lend themselves to actually learning Mario's moveset, something that I think was missing in SM64's red coins. Hell, even the blue coins of Bianco Hills are fairly easy to collect, with only a pair of Yoshi exclusives, and one coin that was a little obtuse in the spraying of this specific spot on this specific balcony. What keeps Bianco Hills from my top 3 though is the repetition. Shine 1 has you refight another Goopy Piranha plant, while later on another shine has you refight PT Piranha in the main village. Even though I enjoy those encounters, I have to admit that reusing PT twice in the same course is wild. And I also think the top 3 stages just play more to Mario's parkour strengths with Flood. Still, if Bianco Hills is able to dredge up nostalgia that never existed to begin with, that is a special kind of course. And nothing is more special than spraying that subscribe button, as we're trying to reach 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I genuinely think we can do it, but it's not gonna happen if you guys don't press that subscribe button. At number 3, we have Noki Bay, the 6th course of the game. Compared to the tourism that engulfs the rest of the island, Noki Bay is an untouched paradise. Gorgeous cliff tops and ancient ruins just waiting to be explored. Only it's under pollution and we have to clean it up. The first shine immediately showcases, though, why Noki Bay is so fun. The climb up to the Monty Mole Cannon and the cork atop the waterfall gives you so many unique options. Depending on your familiarity with Flood and Mario's different jumps, you can take entirely different pathways up every single time. Then, the second shine showcases the gimmick of the cliff sides and how you can reveal ancient ruins by spraying the right spots on the walls. But these spots only remain open for a short period of time, so you have to get through the parkour, grab the blue coins on the way, and keep moving. The only downside for this shine is the reuse of the Glooper Blooper fight near the end, which we've already done twice before in Rico Harbor, but it's a small price to pay. These cliffside gimmicks don't really come into play for the other shines, but they do when it comes to hunting for blue coins, with the western side of the map home to a fuck ton of them, plus the secret golden bird shine. Can't say I really care for the bird shine here or in the hub, but I do like how this bird is in an out-of-the-way location that has a fantastic view of the level once you reach it. The stage also has the toughest secret mission inside the shell. It asks you to know all of Mario's floodless jumps, and the red coin variant's timer is so strict that you have to be on your A game to get the shine here. I literally beat it with less than a second to go, if that tells you how tough it was. But I would be remiss if I didn't mention the one controversial part of Noki Bay, the underwater segments. I won't pretend, Mario's controls underwater suck. Flood just doesn't give you a lot of freedom of movement, but I still never found the shines too tough or bothersome either. The red coin bottle is a training course, the Ely Mouth's dentist is a little time consuming, but I felt it was a worthwhile spin on a boss fight that felt unique enough to warrant its existence, and the red coin fish was a cute reward for saving the bay from pollution. Oh, and Il Piantissimo is here too, but you can literally get punched across the bay and beat him in record time. Why the course has you going down the cliff and over the water, and not over the water and up a cliff, is anybody's guess. If the underwater movement were a lot cleaner, or they had kept the Koopa shells from 64 in Galaxy, I think Noki Bay would have been a contender for the best course in the game. As it stands though, it takes the bronze medal instead. At number 2, we have Delfino Plaza, the hub of the game. We've moved away from hub worlds in Mario games now, which is a real shame because they're often some of the best places to practice with Mario's moveset. You've got various shines you can collect throughout the game, some from the very beginning, others require you to progress the story so you can recollect certain nozzles from Bowser Jr., and towards the end of the game the whole plaza even gets flooded. Bursting into the police station with the turbo nozzle or using the rocket nozzle to clean the shine gate are iconic for a reason. One of my favourite shines in the game is the revisit to the airstrip though, where you get to turbo your way around the map, following a trail of yellow coins while collecting the red ones strewn about. It is magical. The blue coins are all fairly kind here too, with the fruit basket coins being the main exceptions. I like a lot of the hidden areas you can explore, like the red coin field, the turbo track, and you know what? I even like the lily pad ride. Just make minute adjustments instead of spamming your spray and the river will do most of the work for you, and just grab the one up mid-course so you can keep retrying. Though the way to reach that course via Yoshi is woefully awful and the hate is completely valid just for that. Pachinko is still cursed, but it's hit that so bad it kind of wraps around to being iconic stage for me, where I know the moment I enter I'm gonna get my spirit crushed, even if I follow a guide that's labbed out the best ways to reach each slot. I'll still slip and fall, but I'm kind of gonna have a weirdly good time. Really, why Delfino Plaza works though, is it's a town that keeps expanding with each new area unlocked. It changes throughout the story. The townsfolk have different things to say. Peach isn't actually kidnapped from the jump and gets to spend a few courses at town before Junior tries it. It feels lived in and lively, a stark contrast from the ominous empty halls of Super Mario 64's castle. And because of this, Delfino Plaza feels like home. It's an actual vacation spot, not just for our favourite plumber, but also for the player. But it can't hold a candle to... At number 1, we have Rico Harbor, the second course of the game. The craziest part about this ranking is that Rico Harbor doesn't actually have the best shines in the game. You face the Goopa Blooper twice, where I actually think the second encounter should have been the only one. It has one of the worst shines in the game with Yoshi's Fruit Adventure, which is a poorly explained sequence of events that gets worse and worse the longer you think about it. Awaken Yoshi with a durian by ground pounding these two towers, but if the durian bounces into the water or onto the lower platform, fuck you! You just have to wait around and try again, something you'll have to do constantly if you keep dropping Yoshi into the water, which is bound to happen at least once. Then you use his spit to turn enemies into platforms, which is never used anywhere else in the game, and the game never explains that if you hop up and eat this fruit from this tree mid-course, it changes the properties of Yoshi's spit to create platforms that move vertically instead of horizontally. What the fuck, Nintendo? Luckily, we recover from that pain with the rest of Rico Harbor being peak Mario Sunshine. The 3 various blooper surfing shines are awesome, using the shortcuts on the racetrack to get the quickest time, and then surfing through the bay to collect the red coins is exhilarating. I actually find it hilarious that if you don't jump right to grab the shrine in the bay, the blooper will cause you to die though. Someone at Nintendo has a sense of humor. The secret of Rico Tower is the most iconic secret level in the game. These rotating platforms are synonymous with Mario Sunshine. They cannot be denied. But for me, it's the shine that asks you to climb along all the scaffolding that is the best of the best. Figuring out your route into the cage at the top by any means necessary allows you to flex all your skills to get the best time. I love side flipping and spin jumping off the smokestack to skip a portion of the level. I love hovering around beams and avoiding the bloopers, pole climbing, wall jumping until you get to the trampolines and eventually the top. Or, with careful precision, you can grab the grating below the shine and flip your way into the cage from below. Rico Harbor is the parkour of Super Mario Sunshine, and the mix of the industrial with the vacay vibe is exactly what Mario needs to flex these skills. But does it contain the best shine sprite in Super Mario Sunshine? That, my friends, is a question for our next video, where I'll be ranking all 120 shine sprites in Super Mario Sunshine. So consider subscribing because you do not want to miss it, and I'll see you next time. Adios.